Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to discuss with you the difference between a whole step and a half step. So those may be words that you have not quite heard yet. We're getting ready to start studying about some scales, learning some scales, and we need to know the difference between the terms whole step and half step. The easiest way for me to show that to you is on a piano keyboard. So here I have a little piano keyboard and we can see some white keys and then some black keys. If you are a percussion student, then you are using a bell kit or a marimba or something of that nature, and you don't have the two different colors, but you still have the upper level keys and the lower level keys like we do on a piano keyboard or a synthesizer keyboard. So the easiest way to show you a half step is to look at the top of the keyboard, not the bottom down here where the keys are all white, but at the top of the keyboard. And you can see, I have my little pointer here, and I am going to be going from one available note to the next available note. So as I'm going up here at the top, you can see that was between white, black, white, black, white, and then there are some places on the keyboard where you have two white keys next to each other. That's okay. That's still the next available note. So this one, and then next available, next available, next available. So these are called half steps. So if I'm at the top of the keyboard and I'm going down, and I'm still following the same principle. I'm choosing every available note, and then this is a half step. A whole step means that you are going to skip a note. So if I start down here and I'm choosing this one, then if I skip over the black key, then the next one will be the next white one. And if I skip over this black key, then this will be the next white key. And we run into a problem right here where we have no black key in the middle of a note. So if I'm going to skip over a note, then I have to skip over the white one and then go to the black one. And now the pattern kind of changes. So if I'm going to skip over, I'm skipping the white and going to the black. Skipping the white, going to the black. Skipping the white, going to the white. Skipping the black, going to the white, and now I'm back kind of to this original pattern here. So this is what it means to do a whole step, is I'm skipping one of the notes one of the available notes in between. And we're going to start making some scales, and in order to make a scale, we follow a pattern. And the pattern is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. I like to think of it this way. There are two wholes together. There's a half, and then three wholes together and a half. Two wholes, and then three. Two, and then three. So if you go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Do that with me. Whole, 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 half, whole, 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 half. What does that mean? Well, if we're going back to our piano keyboard, I'm going to erase these. And let's say that I wanted to make a scale that we'll start C here because the C's are marked. So I'll start here on middle C. So here's a C. And I want to follow that sequence. So whole is the first one. That means I'm going to skip over an available note. So there's a whole step. And I'm going to do another whole. So I'm skipping over. And then I need a half step. So that's going to be next available. And then I'm going to do whole, whole, whole. So I'm skipping over, skipping over, skipping over. Then I need another half. So the C scale ends up being all on the bottom level keys, all on the white keys. That's the only key that does that, the only scale. I'm going to choose another one. We'll do the B flat scale. So here is B flat or B lowered. Here's B and B lowered. And we're going to follow the same sequence. So I need whole, whole, and then a half. So if I'm skipping over an available note, skip the white and go here. So that's whole step. Skip over the black, go to the white, another whole step. And then I need a half. So next available, that one. And then we're going to go whole, whole, whole. So skip over the white, go to the next one. Skip over the black, go to the next one. Skip over the black, go to the next one. And then my last one is a half step. So next available, that one. So this is the pattern for the B flat scale. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. So I'm not a piano player, you say. I don't understand the keyboard. What does that mean for me and my instrument? So let's look at the trumpet here. So let's do a B flat scale on the trumpet. So here is B flat. And I'm going to make, I need a whole, whole half. So I would jump over the next available note, which would be the B. So I go from B flat, jump over that and go to C. Then I need to do that again. So I'm going to jump over this note and go to this one instead. So that would be a D. So there's my whole, whole. And then I need a half step. So half step on your fingering chart means that you're going to go to the next available note, which would be this one, E flat. And then I need whole, whole, whole again. So that means I'm skipping a note. So jumping over, go to this one, whole. Jumping over this one and going to this one, whole. Jumping over, whole. And then I need to end with a half, that one. Now that's all kind of complicated, but it will help you understand a little bit about what we're doing. So I want to call your attention to some resources that you have available to you now in Canvas. So in Canvas, I have loaded for you some scales. And you can't quite see it down here, but down here at the bottom of the page, there's a link for scales. You can also go to online learning. And there will be a link also for scales. So if you click on scales, and then select your instrument. I'm going to choose trumpet again because I've been working with trumpet. Then it will show you the links to the different scales that are on your scale sheet. So right now in class, you may have been learning two different scales, maybe the F concert scale or the F concert scale, and the maybe your this is trumpet, so this is your G scale. So maybe you're working on the G scale, which is your F concert scale. And you've probably learned the B flat scale by now. So for trumpet, concert B flat, concert pitch is C for trumpet world. And other instruments, you may only have a concert pitch. So you may not have two columns here for a concert pitch. But you can go in and click on these, and they will give you a tutorial of how to play those scales for your instrument. Now, at the end of the school year, you are going to be doing an audition, and that audition is part of that audition is playing scales. So you will play your major scales, as many of them as you can possibly play, and then also the chromatic scale. What is a chromatic scale? Well, a chromatic scale is a scale that plays every available note on your instrument. So let's go back to the piano keyboard here. So if I'm playing the every available note, let's say I am going to play an F chromatic scale. So starting on F. So here is F on the keyboard. Then that would mean that I'm going to play this note, this note, this note, this note, this one, 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 this one. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. And I'm playing every available note. What does that look like on your fingering chart? Well, if I'm playing an F scale, I would start on my note F. For Trumpet World, I'll start here on this F. And then I'm going to play every single available note up until the next F. So I play F, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and this one, 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 until I got to the next F. So of every available note. Now, when we are reading your fingering chart, you need to be aware of this with the chromatic scale. So when we're doing the chromatic scale and we're going up, I'm gonna change my starting note to a G. So if I'm going up in the staff or going higher in the staff, I'm going to read the note names as the sharp names. So you will see that some of the notes have two names where other notes only have one. And that is because on the piano, you can see it easily. So this note here is an F, and this note is an F sharp or an F raised. This note here is a G, but if I go down, this is a G lowered or a G flat. And you can see that it's the same note, but it has two different names. So like in my house, I have two different names. I'm called Mama, and then I'm also called at school, I'm called Mrs. Goings. So both of those names apply to me. I didn't change my person at all, but I have two different names. And so this note also has two names. It has a sharp name, a raised name, and it has a flat name, a lowered name, but it's still the same note. So we can see that on your fingering chart because it's going to show two note names. So when I'm reading the scale on the music, it will say G, and then I need its sharp name if I'm going up, G sharp, A sharp, because I'm still going higher in the pitches, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and F. Now let's go backwards. When I'm going down the staff, going lower in pitch in the chromatic scale, I want to use the flat names. So if I'm on F, then I'm going down, I would say E. And now here's my first choice where I have two possible names for the same note. I'm going to choose the flat name, E, and you can see here what it looks like. D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A flat, and G. So those are some things to keep in mind as you start learning to play and perform your scales. So use the tutorials that are provided for you. I'm still looking for some of the scales. So work on the ones that are there for you now. And as we get more added, then hopefully you will be able to learn them all. So good luck as you start working on scales and learning about scale patterns and whole notes and half steps. And we'll see you next time, guys.